If your makeup looks like this, it's just separating a few hours after you do it. It's getting patchy, it's settling into your pores, but you want it to look like this. I'm gonna tell you exactly why this is happening and exactly how to fix it. And I guarantee you, so many people don't even realize they're making any of these mistakes. By the way, I just made this entire brand new channel. Like if you go to my page, you might see 0 subscribers, but that's because I already have another channel called Alicia's Approach, but I wanted to create a whole new channel. This is gonna be for you if you love beauty and you love actual makeup tutorials where it's not just about the products, but it's also about the technique. And also if you're someone like me who's South Asian and realizes that not every single makeup tutorial is gonna fit our skin. So if that's you, you're in the right place. Let's get to it. And the first mistake you're probably making, 90% of the time this mistake happens before you even touch your foundation. It's your skin prep or your skincare routine that you're doing right before you do your makeup. And I'm sure you've heard a lot about skin prep, but this is essentially just a skincare you do in the morning before you do your makeup. What a lot of people don't realize is that they might be doing either too much skin prep or too little. Like for example, if you have dry skin, you might think layering on a ton of serums and moisturizers and toners is going to help your skin, but in reality all of that hydration and all of those oils in the products are mixing together with your foundation, and it's one of the reasons everything is turning out really patchy later in the day. Like think about it, if you have a ton of hydration, your face is literally becoming a slip and slide competition and your foundation has nothing to sort of grip onto. But too little skincare is just as bad. If you're not even moisturizing in the morning, your foundation is going to cling to every single dry patch and every single flake and pore, and it's not going to look good. So I'm going to tell you how to do your skin prep routine for each skin type, okay? If you have dry skin, like I have dry skin, and this is the holy grail skin prep routine that has always worked for me, the first step is a milky toner for dry skin specifically. And this is one of my favorite ones that I just put on. This is from Bioma. This is the hydrating milky toner. It has tons of incredible ingredients. It's just so hydrating, but it's so lightweight. It just kind of sinks into your skin, and it's not going to be too heavy or too slippery for your foundation when it goes on top. And then you need a lightweight moisturizer, okay? You cannot be using heavy moisturizers just because you have dry skin. Save those for the evening. Something that looks like this. It has kind of like this really lightweight gel-like consistency. This is actually a Korean skincare product. This is from the brand Torrid. This is the Dive-In Cream. So hydrating, but still so beautiful underneath makeup. And SPF is absolutely necessary. Like if you want your skin to be really bouncy and you want to prevent early wrinkles, absolutely have to be using one before you do your makeup. SPF always goes after you do your moisturizer. But what no one tells you, the wrong SPF can also make your foundation really patchy and gross. The ones you should not be using are those really heavy, thick, and pasty formulas. So instead, use an SPF that's lightweight and fluid. This is one of my favorite ones. This is from Innisfree. This is their daily UV defense sunscreen. It's never greasy, but it just gives the most beautiful, natural, fresh glow. Oily and combo skin types, your moisturizer choice needs to be completely different. And also skip the hydrating toner. You don't need any of that. You need an even lighter moisturizer than the one I showed you before. Like this one is a super lightweight gel consistency, and this type of moisturizer you can barely even see when you put it on your skin. This is from First Aid Beauty. This is the Dewy Gel Cream, but also I absolutely love the Neutrogena Hydro Boost for oily and combo skin type, and the Innisfree sunscreen I mentioned before. All skin types will absolutely love this. Mistake number 2, this one might upset some people, but I promise it's for your own good. The beauty sponge, she might have to go, okay? I know we all love her and she's the reason a lot of us got into makeup. This sponge makes it so easy to put your foundation on and just blend everything out. But if your foundation never looks good, no matter how hard you try, this could be the culprit. Because think about it, what do sponges do? They absorb, right? So when you are using it to blend out your foundation, your concealer, it's going to actually eat up half the product. Because it's eating up half the product, it's not going to do an even blend, and it's going to leave some areas with less product and some areas with more product, and that's literally how patchy makeup starts. Now these are good for like a very no makeup day. If you love a good natural makeup look, keep your sponge. But if you want your foundation to actually look good and not separate, what you need is a foundation brush, okay? Hear me out. When you see how good this looks, you will change your mind about brushes. Look how beautifully that is applying this foundation. This is how my skin looks before with no makeup, and this is how it looks with foundation. A lot of people don't like brushes because they think it makes their makeup look really streaky, but that's just because you're using your brushes wrong, or your brushes are just not good, okay? Somebody has to tell you. This is one of the best brushes I've ever used for my foundation. By the way, I link everything I've been using and talking about in the description box. I'm gonna tell you all of my favorite brushes I've used for foundation that give you the most beautiful skin-like finish. Like honestly, a brush is what's gonna make your makeup look like a filter in real life. I'm using the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation in the shade 2N26. I know you see all of the TikTok girlies putting it directly on their face. You don't want to do that, especially if you're a beginner. So instead, apply a light amount on the back of your hand first, lightly dab the brush into it, and then bounce it. Do not ever drag the brush like this. This is what a lot of people do, and that is the biggest mistake. Your coverage is going to be so messed up and you're going to get streaks. And also, don't be holding your brush this tight, holding on for dear life, hold it very lightly. This is how you get more control. And look at how stunning this foundation looks right now. It's literally because I used a brush. If I had used a sponge, it would not look like this. Now, don't judge me. I haven't washed these in a little bit, but I had to show you guys because these are some of the best brushes for foundation. The one I just used on my face was the Makeup by Mario F4 brush. It's actually dual-ended. So this side you can actually use for a smaller blend, like for your blush or for your contour. And this side is much bigger. It's a little bit more dense, so you can use this for foundation. Also, the It Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Complexion Brush and the Morphe M246 brush. These are the 4 foundations that have never let me down. They just work so beautifully on my skin. They don't emphasize pores or skin texture. So the first one is the one I already talked about. This is the Makeup Forever HD Skin, the Maybelline Lumi Matte in the shade 220. This is incredible if you have oily skin, but you want a tiny bit of a glow without looking greasy. It's also so incredible for dry skin. It lasts all day long. Another affordable option, we have the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. This is one of the best affordable foundations I've ever used, and it literally makes your makeup look expensive. And then one of my all-time favorite holy grails is the Haus Labs foundation. It just gives your face the most beautiful, soft, angelic glow. It's so good as like an event soft glam foundation or even as a bridal makeup foundation. Now, I just did my entire concealer routine. Let me know if you guys want to see a video on how to stop concealer creasing and how to cover up dark circles, because that needs its own entire separate video. Mistake number 3 that you're probably making, this is one that everyone makes without even realizing. Like, I literally made it for most of my 20s, and now that I'm 31 and know exactly how to do my makeup, I can show you because I've completely mastered this. The mistake you're making is that you're layering your products completely wrong. So many people do foundation and then they put a bunch of powder on their face because they get scared, and then they use cream blush, powder, bronzer, and a bunch of random different types of products that aren't supposed to be mixed together. And you wonder why your makeup looks like shit. So the rule is to always do cream products first and then powder products on top. Like, if you already powdered your entire face and then you do cream on top, that is going to break up that powder in the worst way possible. Your blush is going to be fighting for its life. Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly what to do first. First, you're going to do your cream bronzer, and the one I'm using today is from Rare Beauty. I love this cream bronzer. I know I need to get my nails done. I know, mind your business. I have no powder on my face yet, and I'm just going to apply this bronzer where I want that kind of sculpt. So I'm going to go on the jawline and then right here on the tops of the cheekbones. This is more of like a contour too because it's cool tone. How you blend your blushes and bronzers and contours also matters, because look at how I'm blending this. It's kind of like the same way I blended the foundation. This is how you keep it looking really smooth and you're not going to get those harsh lines. I'm using that same Makeup by Mario F4 brush, but just the other side. By the way, if you guys can't already tell, I am wearing a wig because I have alopecia. So if you're also somebody going through hair loss, or if you just want to hear more about my journey, let me know. I also would love to hear about your journey, because in situations like this, it's also so nice to hear from other people who are going through the same thing. It doesn't feel like you're as alone as you sometimes can feel. I'm just gonna add a tiny bit on the sides of the nose for a little bit of a nose contour. This is like the lazy girl version. And then on the sides of the forehead. And then I also like to take the foundation brush I used earlier and kind of go over where I put this contour, just so there aren't any harsh lines. And it just looks so nice and seamless. Doing the same thing for your cream blush. I like to use a brush like this to kind of tap it on and then put it directly on my face. I feel like I just get so much more control that way. I'm using the CoverGirl Blush Balm in the shade Toasted Chai. It's so perfect for like a toasty summer makeup look. And if you have a medium skin tone like me, this is gonna be your favorite blush, I guarantee you. Now listen, this is a lot of cream products, right? Cream products tend to slip and melt off the face really fast. So before you even touch a powder, you want to set your face with a setting spray before you do anything else. And this is one of my favorite setting sprays I have used recently. It's pretty new, I believe, but I already love it. It's from Milani. It's their Make It Last Microfine Mist. That's how you know it works. And now that you've done that, set your cream blush with a powder blush. This is one of my favorite blushes, and I'm using the Huda Beauty blush palette in the shade Strawberry Latte. And this powder blush on top is going to make that cream blush last so much longer on your face. I'm also going to add this onto the lids because why not? 2 birds, 1 stone, right? Now we have to go in with the powder bronzer to set our cream bronzer in place. This is probably the best powder bronzer you will find that is affordable because the pigment on this is insane. I really have to use a very light amount, but I'm also using the Morphe M163 powder brush to apply this. This is the Baked Bronzer from Milani in the shade Capri Copper. Buff this all over the kind of perimeter of the face. Like, this is insane. And mistake number 4, this is where people either save their makeup or they absolutely ruin it, and that is with your setting powder. People get really scared of setting powder because they don't know exactly what to do with it. They end up over powdering or under powdering their face, and it just ends up looking splotchy and kind of patchy. But don't worry, I'm not gonna let that happen to you. I'm gonna show you exactly where and how you should be using a setting powder kind of like this. Dry skin girlies, powder does not belong all over your face. We want that kind of really hydrated, fresh looking glow, but oily skin girlies, yes, you can powder wherever you need to. This is one of my my favorite setting powders to use, by the way, and it's super affordable. This is from L'Oreal, Blurfection setting powder in the shade Light Pink. This will brighten up your under eyes so beautifully. I like to take it on a powder puff like this. You don't want to take a crazy amount. Don't load it up with setting powder. Tap off some of it so there's an even amount on the powder puff. And so I like to apply it on the insides of the under eyes right here to set the concealer. This is a setting powder that literally makes your face look like an entire filter. Like, it takes away every pore, every imperfection. Honestly, it's so affordable, but it feels like it's high end. Do we see how that's setting my under eyes so beautifully? Look at that difference. Setting your under eyes is going to make your concealer last, but then what you want to do is take a tiny amount of that setting powder and then put it around the nose and the mouth, because this is where foundation tends to separate first. I also take a light amount on the forehead, and we have made it to mistake number 5 that you could possibly be making, and I would argue that this is one of the most important things. You're not using the right setting sprays to set your makeup in place. Now, earlier I already told you guys that you need to be putting a setting spray on kind of in the middle of your layers, like right after you apply any cream products. Blast your face with some setting spray. This is going to help your foundation and your makeup, everything else you put on, grip onto your face a lot better. But there's another type of setting spray you need if you want your makeup to look really seamless and skin-like and natural, and not like kind of there's a lot of cakey foundation sitting on top of your face. I will never do my makeup without this. This is the One Size Powder Melt Setting Spray. And what this is going to do, it's not meant to make your makeup last. All it's going to do is essentially will just melt all of your powders and creams together, because everything is different layers, right? But this makes it into one beautiful even layer. This has saved my life more times than I can count. MAC Fix Plus does the same thing. You're gonna put this on right at the end. This honestly has some sort of sorcery inside of it, because it adds a glow where your face needed a glow, but then everything else stays matte. Like, this is not a greasy, oily setting spray. Oily skin girlies can skip this, but if you have dry skin, this is something you absolutely need. But now we have to make it last, so I'm gonna go back in with the same Milani setting spray from earlier. And if you have a makeup question that you want to see a video on, put it in the comments, and the comment that gets the most likes is the one I'll make the video on. If you implement these tips, I guarantee your makeup is going to last until the end of the day with you and look absolutely stunning and beautiful and flawless. If this helped even a little bit, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because like I said, this channel is for us, people who love beauty and makeup tutorials and learning new techniques, especially if you have a similar skin tone as me or if you're South Asian. I really hope this helped. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one.